solo. Want my love, baby, earn it. Yeah, dancing on my own. See if you can follow. Got me feeling alive. Watch me go, lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs. Every time let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Hear me now, I do what I want. Are you ready now? 'Cause it won't be easy. Only get what you work for. Gotta go all out. Whenever you see me, don't be wasting my time. Watch me go, lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs. Every time let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Hear me now. Watch me go, lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs. Every time let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want.
Good morning. What's new, pussycat?
Hello. Happy Saturday. What's new, pussycats? How you doing? I am fantastic. Thanks for asking. Today in Florida, it is, the weather's looks like we might have a little more sun today than we have seen in, oh my God, y'all, like 5 days. I think I'm starting to get that seasonal affective disorder. Listen, everybody up in this mofo has some kind of an affliction or a disorder or a syndrome. So why should I be any different? I just don't share mine. I get it. We need this. My brain needs this right now. Oh. And on the third day, all righty then. I have cleansed all the bad juju out of my my brain. Well, I mean, what I could. I have to say, I've been having some belly laughs this morning. And I'm very sorry that it's at the expense of another's. Oh goodness, yeah. But I think we're probably going to discuss a little bit of that on. Oh, this would be a perfect opportunity to give a shameless plug to me and Crazy Nurse, our new news gossip broadcast. Yes, every Monday, when permitting, this credenza, well, it becomes the Crimes and Fashion Anchor Desk with your special correspondents, for the WPIMP network, yours truly, and Perla Press. Woo! Jeez. Oh God. Thank you. That was almost, well, that was almost a dry cleaning bill waiting to happen. Why do I repeatedly continue to put my foot on the little shelf of this chair? I rarely ever hit the shelf. Instead, I hit the credenza in front of me, and oh, we were that close to coffee, just because, you know, I'm holding my mug of brandy flavored coffee. Ow. Who knew there was such a thing? My God, that just sounds disgusting. Ugh. I personally don't want my coffee or my alcohol adulterated with either of the other. So my goodness, as usual, it is just utterly amazing to me the scope, the breadth and scope of what transpires up in this mofo in a 24-hour period of time. My goodness. More on that in a moment. Y'all, I was putting this on before I sat down, and this is actually on Lisa's favorite things. And if you all would like me to do some of my Lisa's favorite things this morning, I got a list. I know that's probably shocking. This is most assuredly on my list. This, oh yes, kind of like Hall & Oates, your kiss is on my list. Yeah. This is what I don't even need to read this because I know exactly what this color is called. This to me is, I don't know if it's the universal neutral color. Like I don't think Betty could wear this. So, you know, this might not be universally flattering. I'll let that softball go right on by because I'm feeling like the good Lisa today. Yeah, I don't know if this is flattering on a complexion the color of paste, but this is MAC. It's what I'm wearing today, and it's the only color I'm wearing. Typically, I put several different shades on because, you know, much like when I do my eyes today have, this is probably five different colors. And usually I have at the very least, I have 2 colors on my lips, sometimes 3, because sometimes if I'm wearing a darker shade right here and right here, you do one of those right in the middle to, you know, draw the eye because it's lighter and it gives the appearance of, you know, a fuller lip. And I do not line my lips unless it's like this morning, I used this. So I used this MAC. This is Angel. That's what it looks like. I know it kind of looks like a pink, but it really is not a pink at all. It's a neutral. And I did line in, this is NYX Jumbo. Now they say that these are for your eyes, but you can use them anywhere. I mean, and come on, if you can use it on your eyes, you can use it on your lip. So because this is almost the same shade, but I wanted a little bit of contrast, you know, with you know, just a little metallic. So while I do not line my lips, I definitely know how. And if you guys would be interested one day, we'll look at a tutorial where you can, by doing what's called overdrawing, you can create a much larger looking lip, but you have to be good at it. And it takes a little practice, but I can show you some very fine tutorials if you're interested in that. No, I just bite the bullet, and once a year I just get the, fill those babies up like a flat tire, because as you get older your lips tend to disappear. The key is you just, I don't want that. Like, listen, when I was in my early 30s, I was a fan of the big giant duck lips, the exploding lips where more. But not anymore. Now it's once a year. I'm lucky. I do have the shape of my lips it's pretty. I have a small Cupid's bow, so it's once a year works for me. If you really have very little lip and the shape is rather, straight, well, then that might take a little more. But yes, Lisa is not into exploding duck lips. Not, yeah. When I was in my early 30s, God, like this was your lips are gorgeous. What color is that lipstick? Damn, it looks really good with your gorgeous rubber pink plastic complexion. I love that. Oh, and look at it makes your eyes pop. So yes, this was rather my well, much like I think on Betty's goal, girls got to have a dream. Yeah, I think I very much wanted lips like this little duck. I got over that. But not after, helping to do my part to make the shareholders of Juvederm and Restylane, I was doing my part to amp up their shareholder distribution checks. So what else is going on? Y'all, oh my God, this jumpsuit, I am obsessed. Now, here's the downside to jumpsuits, and it's why I do not wear them more than I do. This one is relatively easy to maneuver, we'll just say. Well, the worst thing about a jumpsuit is needing to go to the bathroom. And I don't mean to, powder your whatever. Yeah. It is typically very inconvenient. So even with something easy like this, I would not wear this if I was going to be out indulging in a lot of beverages, whatever they may be. But this is, oh my God, this is so comfortable. And now listen, I don't typically care about comfort. I never have. I've been willing to suffer my whole life for, beauty, for fashion. No pain, no gain, ladies. It's typically holds true. But this, see, I couldn't wear this just rolling around because without the heels, it's too long. And see you can see here that it's got this gorgeous cuff. So while my seamstress is very skilled and she could take that cuff off and she could shorten this to where I could wear this with flip-flops. it would cost too much to do it. Not if I was going to wear it all the time, but the only thing I wear a lot repeatedly are jeans and t-shirts. So it just wouldn't be worth what I'd have to pay to have it done. But let me tell you, there is no place you couldn't wear a jumper like this. And oh my God, and it is so comfortable. And don't be scared of a jumpsuit that is done in silk, because silk is a natural material, and it's just, oh God, it's just like, it's amazing. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to say hi to the kids in class, and then I'm going to introduce a new something new we're going to do here every time I go live, every time I can remember. And y'all help me with this, okay? If I don't, once I do this and I tell you what it is, if you see me, starting to get rolling and I forget, remind me. And much in that vein, let me grab this little book that's here next to me. Okay. All right, kids. I'm going to say hi. And then we're going to get the shit show started. And y'all, I don't have a big agenda today. In fact, once I go over the couple little things I want to go over, y'all are in the driver's seat. You tell me what you want me to talk about. All right. Crazy Nurse in the house, also known by her alter ego, Perla Press, member of the Associated Press, highly literate reporter here on WPIMP, bringing you the Hood News weekly. Y'all pack a lunch, okay? Because we're going to have a lot to talk about. I know that's going to be shocking. There's a lot that goes on in this place. I have my press pass at the ready. Perla, we may need to see about getting your credentials issued here by the well-dressed literate media, okay? But we'll talk about that later. Once our news program goes into national, oh hell, screw national, worldwide syndication. Well, then we'll get the, much like Betty's going to get her credentials straightened right on out. Yeah. She's trying to find a credentialing agency that, thinks spelling, grammar, punctuation, usage, thinks all that is just merely a suggestion, not exactly, the price of entry into the building. I mean, come on. All right. I don't know. Am I feeling these today, or maybe these? I feel like I wear these animal print ones all the time. What do you think? Let's go with the black ones today. It's been a while. All right. Time to say hello. Hey, Helen Highwater, how are you? It has been a very fine Saturday so far. I hope yours is as well. Hey, just Samantha, Scorpio Sting, happy Saturday. Hi, Tia. Res Girl Marie in the house. Refresh already. There we go. Oh, hey, Mama Bear, how are you? And then we have Running Bear right after Mama Bear. Petunia Picklebutt, how are you? Thank you for what you sent me. Sherry's, right? Yes. Sherry's ornaments. If anyone remember those sweet little ornaments I showed y'all the other day, the pretty glittery ones. If anybody would like a link to a retail outlet that has quite a few of those, just let me know and I will. You guys, I need to, Crazy Nurse, maybe you can help me with this. I want to do a hard copy, Lisa's favorite things. And if we could maybe, because listen, if I do it, it'll be like Betty's lawsuit and all the links will be bullshit. They'll be dead and they won't work. So maybe you can help me with that, because what I would like to eventually have is a hard copy. Maybe people can email me for it, because it'll be too much to put on a community post. So maybe we can talk about that at some point. Hey, Emmy, how are you? Hi, SoFlo. Voices in the house. How you doing? Hi, Brittany. Moving right along. Hey, Nonsense, how are you? Look at me, I'm just Crimes of Fashion, Party of One. Your table is now available. Oh, boy. Hey, Bama Beauty. How are you? World peace. Oh, you're purging. Oh my God. Purging is good for the soul, girl. God, it's good for the stomach too. Have y'all ever had such a hangover or been so inebriated? Okay, these are back in my Studio 54 days. Yeah, when me and Cher and Andy Warhol and we were all hanging out. Have y'all ever been so inebriated that when you go to get in your bed, everything is spinning so much that I've tried the following. I've tried putting one foot down on the ground, going, oh, sweet Jesus, God, just get me through this. And I swear to God, I will never do this again. Or when you're seeing double and you like cover one eye so that hopefully you can get back to only seeing one. And when all else fails, that usually returns things to their point of equilibrium. Think of it as Greenwich Mean Time for being drunk as hell. God, I'm trying to think of the last time I got my swerve on in that way. It's been long enough that I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't enjoy drinking anymore. I drink here, at the holidays when I have people over for dinner. But even then, it's just 2 at the most. And listen, if I do it, ice. That's what I mix with, ice. Ice cubes. And the only things I ever really drink, if it's not a high noon, if I'm going to drink alcohol, Patron Silver on the rocks with a lemon, not a lime. Just squeeze that lemon. And this works with any good tequila. I personally do not like gold tequila. I'm a silver girl. I prefer to look at it as kind of like platinum. Platinum tequila. And I tell you what, if you get good tequila, that's all you need. And it honestly, it takes a minute. You gotta a lot of lemon. I'm not talking about that pathetic little wedge that they give you in a cheap restaurant when you say, can I have some lemon for my tea? No. I'm talking like not a half of a lemon, but if you cut the lemon in half, take the half and then cut maybe 4 good slices out of the half, long ways. That amount of lemon. So plenty of ice, good tequila, a lot of lemon. Let it sit for a minute and all just, do what it does. If you can let it not melt, but just kind of, just marry, get it muddled. Well, hell, if you drink a lot, you might end up married. You never know. just somebody you met on a bar stool. I mean, stranger things have happened. But it's either that or a really good vodka. Same situation. Ice with 3 olives. No, I don't put olive juice in it. I don't want it dirty. There was a joke my husband used to have about that being my meal. He's like, yeah, that's our dinner. Vodka and 6 olives. Because then I wouldn't be hungry anymore. While you're, if you're waiting for your table at a restaurant, whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's been, I gotta say, I spent many years of my 20s doing this and the one foot on the ground and then, so I know of what I speak. I just I don't imbibe anymore. Not for any reason. I don't know. It just, it's like everything else. If you get away from it for a while and you don't indulge, well, then when you do, it's like, well, you're not at you're not at your fighting weight. How isn't that what they say about boxers? Your weigh-in. Yeah, you gotta get back to your, what's a good analogy? Well, you know what I'm talking about. So purging is good for the soul. Sometimes it's good for a very dizzy drunk as well. Oh no. So Flo, are you're on a road trip now? Let's see, on a road trip. Well, put headphones on them. Or you and your hubby put headphones on you. Oh, that's probably better. And if if you like him, then you can let him listen to something besides me. I almost fell off my couch this morning. And the only reason I don't really feel more some type of way, like I'm kind of lying, I do. But what is mitigating my what in the actual fuck is going on? What's mitigating that a little bit is story time from the same video. Because like I said, I don't like laughing at someone else's expense. And it wasn't his. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the one thing I'm going to say about that. And in case anybody's, well, let me finish with kids in the class. Hold on. I'm going to write it down. So I don't forget. Not that he cares, but well, no, you know what? I'm going to do it now because I don't want to get all bogged down in that. And it hasn't happened yet. So, but here's my thoughts. And as I said to someone this morning, you know how I look at it? It's probably one of the only smart things I've ever seen her do on YouTube. She has tried this before. And by this, I mean, she's tried to, let's see a softer side of Betty. Let's humanize Betty. Let me tell you, Betty is no victim. And the reason people think Betty is such a shitbag is because of Betty and what Betty does. So while I will reserve judgment on my thoughts on, because it's his channel, he does whatever he wants. And I like Morbid. I think he is incredibly smart. I don't think anybody would dispute that. And I have a respect for intellect. However, I guess what I'm saying is I would never say that I couldn't be supportive of his channel or like him as a person because he's choosing to try and get to know Betty on a different kind of a level. But I see it as for Betty, her channel is stagnant, it's dying. Most people are of the opinion let's just say she's done a lot of very bad shit that very much warrant the way people view her. That's how the bitch wanted to be viewed. And now you're going to be mad because we see you for what you are. But I'm, you know, I will. I'll be curious to see how it goes. But for her, there's nothing to lose. It can only help her. How can her reputation get any worse or get any more damaged than it already is? But to think that, that there's just a sweet, kind person way deep down somewhere in there and that, oh, this is just a persona. Yeah, bullshit. And for anyone who may not know this or just may not remember it, Betty's tried to do this before. And if you want a preview of how this is likely going to go, I would tell you to go to Days 276 to her channel, because I don't know if Days still does it, but at one time, Days used her platform to get to know other YouTubers and to give them a place to come if they wanted to tell their stories. And she didn't go out soliciting people. It was just, hey, this is what I like to do. If you would be interested, contact me and I would probably love to talk to you. And it was an epic disaster, not because of anything Days did, but, Betty cannot relinquish any of her pretend non-existent power. And you all know how she is. That doesn't, her personality doesn't lend itself to civility, being open and honest, letting someone else take the reins even for a minute. So it went exactly like you would think it would go. And I don't know if Days still has all those videos up that she did. My gosh, this would be, well, at least a year ago, I'm thinking. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. For Betty, there's no place else to go but up. I don't know what frankly, I don't have any clue why he would want to I was going to say interview her at all, but I think what I'll say is, even if this is, and I got the impression that this was something he wanted to do with several people. I don't think this is just a Betty thing. But I don't know that she would have been my first pick, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens, because I see it as, like I said, I don't often give her props for anything, because what the hell does she ever do to get an attaboy? This, good move. Well played on her part. I'm I'm just, what I don't get is why he's doing it. And I don't need to get it. I either, just like everybody else, you watch it or you don't watch it. He does what he wants to do. It's his channel. But yeah, it was to say that I about fell off my couch. Because I don't think he doesn't need to interview her for views at all. In fact, I don't know. Like I said, nothing, it can go nowhere but up for her. For him, I hope he'll be fine either way. He doesn't need Betty for anything. So I'll be like everybody else. I'll just be awaiting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll watch it or not, because I don't. I mean, I'm sure I will eventually. But to me, there's nothing that she could say that's going to. Betty is very much who we've seen. That's Betty. I'm sure she's going to try and sell some version of, oh, that's just a persona, that's not really me. Okay, girl. Okay, so that's enough of that, because I don't want to, it hasn't happened yet, so I don't want to say, I don't want to be commenting on something that any further than I already have. Hey, Spudler, how you doing? Hey, Okie Crime News, how are you? Oh my God, I just love this. I love the name. I love the colors. And you love my eyelashes. Well, thank you very much. Those are on Lisa's favorite things list. Ardell are the only lashes I use because they are the easiest to put on. They're the most ergonomic. They're in my experience, they're the easiest to work with. These are, there's 2 new styles within. Listen, Ardell makes a million styles. They're all, of course, they're all called 100 different names. These are they're either in the Naked series or Light as Air. I can't remember, but I am going to put it on my list. So don't you worry. I'm going to tell you exactly what those are. Hey, Heels, how are you? Hooker. Hey, Hooker. Oh boy. Now you know that's going to be the rumor on the street in about 30 minutes. Oh my God, did you know Crimes and Fashion was a hooker? I prefer call girl. Thank you very much. Out call. How about escort? Okay. Escort is just a. No, come on now. Well, Emmy, I usually need help applying it myself. I make my husband do it, but as you can see, but this is the hardest area to do. Oh, I will tell you something I've been doing of late, and I think I am going to give the Dancing with the Stars. What the hell's that? PETA Beauty. I think it's called PETA Beauty. It's all over the media as Dancing with the Stars self tanner. After using almost the entire bottle, it is mousse, which is not my favorite version, but in the winter time, the fall, anytime it drops below 90 in Florida, getting sprayed with the machine, we do it outside in a tent. It doesn't matter what you do. There is the person who can come up with the way to heat the liquid coming out of the spray gun for the self tanner. They will get a Nobel Peace Prize in humanitarian department, health. Is there any such thing as a health and beauty Nobel Peace Prize? There should be. I mean, fuck the allure beauty best of, best of. This requires far more recognition than that once someone can figure it out. But until such time, it's not as cold when it's 90 degrees outside and the humidity is so bad that it's basically sliding off. It beads up and slides off as fast as you can spray it on. That makes because it's so hot outside, it's easier to deal with the cold of the liquid coming out of the gun. So I have been using the Dancing with the Stars self-tanner mousse, which is the only modality at present is the mousse. Not my favorite, but it's all they have. I have found this, and I've never done this before, but for hands around here, hairline, using a brush really helps, blend it in. So, but I've been using it's a brush that came with the Chanel foundation. So I don't know. It feels like it's natural fibers. More on that. But I know there are lots of brushes you can buy on Amazon. They almost look like a kabuki brush. What is an absolute waste of money is the mitt. Don't ever buy the mitts. That's a crock of shit. But, you can always email me about those kind of things. Yes, Saint-Tropez is that's the one I've always used. I still use they call it like in between. Listen, all of these lines come up with a shit ton of products that are basically all just one product. They just give them different names so that you'll buy more shit. We'll do a whole thing on self-tanning do's and don'ts, because not really in the application, because hello, it's obvious that I fuck mine up all the time. But I do know products, what's the best, what's the worst at different price points, because there's literally probably not one I have not tried on the face of the earth. Hi, Claire. How are you? Hey, Amberly. How you doing? KB, did I say hi to you? Hi again. Hey, Kathy P. How are you? Runs with scissors. Wise Angel UK. Yes, classy escort. Okay, look at that. Why do I feel like I missed a big old chunk of... I did. I missed a bunch. I'm sorry. Hey, Notre Dame, how are you? Oh, he's very smart. No matter what anyone's feelings about him may be, and I wasn't around during that period of time, so I'm not going to comment on things that I don't know about. And I'll just, repeat what I've heard other people say that, makes perfect sense to me. And that is, if there was any there, as far as, some of the most, sorry, I got to get my pant legs figured out here. Obviously he's never been taken into custody, nothing. So I'm not about to sit here and lob accusations like that when, number one, I wasn't around, and number two, that's one of the most serious things you can say about somebody. And there's no way, I just will not go there. But he's very smart, very, very smart. And listen, there's plenty of people that I may not personally care for, but I will never deny someone who's bright. I give, respect where respect is due as far as that kind of stuff. And he's highly intelligent. Oh yes, I missed a huge chunk of the chat. I don't know what is going on. It's weird because it's taken me, even if I go back to the top, it's really like things seem to be out of order. Okay. All right, wait. I remember the last one I know was in order was Emmy's about the self tan. Hold on. Oh, last breadstick. Now I know damn sure I didn't see that one earlier. I would remember that name. How are you? All right. This is all, y'all. This is the craziest thing I have never seen. I've never seen it do this. Like shit is completely out of order. I'm seeing people that I know I have not spoken to up at the top. Okay. All right. Now I'm back to where I thought I was. All right. Moving on from the correct pole position. Well, not quite pole position, but so stand by, and then we're gonna blah, 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 some more. Clearly, I can't talk and read and walk and chew gum at the same time. I gotta admit, I was in the bushes last night. I outed myself from the bushes. Y'all, every time that happens, I just get so tickled by it. And I mean, when I'm in the bushes and then I hear somebody say, and crimes and fashion. I'm not saying she said that, but it's happened a few times. And there is nothing I love more than popping out of the bushes at the most opportune time. Like, hey girl, didn't know I was in your bushes, did you? Oh, yeah, I was a little troubled by just something on the color wheel, we'll just say. Hey, let's go, Brandon. How are you? Oh, listen, you guys, I've still, historically, if we go with that number, I've still got 12 minutes to go before I need to be done reading, before am done taking attendance. So stand by. I'm working on it. Hey, Amethyst Moon, how are you? True Jedi Fever. Forever. See, I can't even read this morning. I like True Jedi Fever as well. If you ever, I don't know, need to rename yourself for any reason. Oh, goodness. Hey, Nanya, how are you? Nanya on a high horse. I said hi to Teresa. Riz Girl. KB. Now I think that's been 3 times. SoFlo Nonsense. Bama Beauty. Hey, Grain. Girl, you're not late. Hell, I'm late. What are you talking about? You're on time. You've always got an hour leeway with me before I actually get down to business. And I don't even know what the business is this morning. So we're really in trouble. Hey, Graham and Sherry. No, you're not an hour late. You're actually 11 minutes early. Just refer back to what I said a second ago. It'll all make sense. This is Carolina K. I called it Carolina K this morning. I guess it's spelled the same. You could pronounce it anyway, but it's Carolina and then the letter K. And thank you. And it is so comfortable. I might wear it for the next 3 days. And you just call me Betty. Ooh, ooh. See, God punished me. He just made this chat jump. What the hell? Listen, I'm starting to think this is a weird glitch. Hold on. Okay, wise angel. I said hello. All right. Running. Hi, Claire. It's too bad I'm not actually even listening to a song. See, some people come on here and like they just want to scream at you and make you cry. I just, I would like to make you laugh. If it's at my expense, that's all good. Oh, hi, Jen T. How are you? Rachel Wolf. Okay, Emmy, I'm glad that I have now been vindicated and I am not losing my mind. It definitely seems to be doing some strange things. Hey, Marcy. What do you mean you smell? All you smell is dust. What the hell's dust smell like? Hi, Evie Renee. Hey, Beth. And now it's back down at the, okay, listen, y'all, I'm so sorry. If I missed your name and I did not say hello, I promise you it's not just my ADHD. StreamYard is having more of an issue than I am, apparently. So I'm blaming on the StreamYard. Okay. Our new feature here on Crimes and Fashion. Hold on, let me pull it up. Let's see. I got to refer to my little notes here. Which did I pick? Okay. All righty. Hold on, and I'm going to first explain. Okay, I think that's good. We can leave it right there. Okay. Well, y'all know that I am such a fan of, well, I just love the King's English. I mean, it's so close to my heart. And I love to read. I always have. I was the second grade in Miss Weber's class in second grade. I was the winner of the reading, who can read the most books. I think it went on for a month. And Miss Weber made a big old poster board and she put all the kids' names and then she put, it was like a grid. And every time you read a book, you got one of those metallic sticker stars. Well, I was like off the poster board in a week. So, of course, I looked at all the other kids and I was like, y'all may as well just hang this shit up because I got this on lock. Like, you will not beat me. I will not be taken down in the literary department. I've just always loved to read. And my mom as well. But even my mom would say, my mom still reads a lot. She actually reads more than I do now, but that's because she doesn't have a YouTube channel taking up her valuable free time. So, she does things like read. I only read at night now. But one of the many benefits of reading is it builds your vocabulary. So even if all I can say is if you have children or you're responsible for children who are school age, and I'm not even joking around here, one of the best gifts you can give your children, read to them read early and read often, and make them read whether they want to or not. I think the schools have gotten better, I hope, at insisting on kids reading more than like when I was in school. Back when we had to read like stone tablets and whatnot. No, I don't mean a Kindle tablet. I mean, stone. Like Moses chiseled them and rolled them down. Oh, maybe that's why is that why he parted the Red Sea, do you think? How did the tablets get to the other side? Yeah, one of those kind of things. Yeah. So, if there's one thing this dump could use, well, it's a little more literacy up in here. So I have decided that every time I go live, when I can remember, where'd my little note go? Did I put it in the song? Oh, here it is. I need to leave this out, okay, so that I remember. I had this on my keyboard from when this brilliant idea entered my mind. And of course, because now I'm no longer in my Studio 54 days. I wasn't even born when Studio 54 was in their heyday, although god dang, I wish I had been. Yes. And I would not have been begging to get in at the Velvet Ropes. Like when I pulled up, who was that Jerry Hall? I think it was. No, Bianca Jagger? I think Bianca was married to Mick first, right? Okay, so I think Bianca Jagger was the one who had her birthday at Studio 54. And that bitch rode in on a white stallion covered in nothing but silver spray paint. I think it was only spray paint. Well, body paint, whatever. Where the hell was I going with that? Oh, yes. Steve Rubell, God rest his soul, the owner of Studio 54. He did have a partner. But yeah, his big thing was he got a real charge out of, well, and it was a marketing strategy. Because all the celebrities love to hang out at Studio 54 and indulge in all types of debauchery, everything from sex, drugs, and rock and roll in copious amounts. Actually, probably a little heavier on the disco than the rock and roll, but be that as it may. Well, once the celebrities call your business, they're home away from home. Well, of course, all the little people want to, come in and rub shoulders with the celebrities and, share cocaine straws. But, but Steve Rubell was masterful. And if you were either around back then or you're just interested in it, there's been several fantastic books written about Studio 54. There's been a couple great movies made about Studio 54. I prefer the books. And if you're interested, email me and I'll go back through my Kindle and give you a couple names. But he had a real knack for, they would put up the velvet ropes. He had very large, burly security, and he would make an appearance at whatever time he felt like. He got a real charge out of knowing that people were lined up. Some of them came, like, even though they never got in the doors, they were as much a part of the fabric of the Studio 54 storyline as the people inside. They just didn't look as good doing it. But that was his thing. People would start lining up, the little people would start lining up. I think I read sometimes it would start at like 4:00 in the afternoon. I don't even think Studio 54 opened until probably at least 11:00 at night, maybe slightly earlier. Oh my God. I have been in Limelight, although it was no longer a club. I think that's the one. Limelight was an old cathedral in Manhattan. That's amazing. But no, like I said, I wasn't there when it was a disco. But actually, that was more of like a techno club at the time, I think. Anyway, Steve Rebell would come out, whatever time it was, probably later rather than sooner. And he would, I think they would have like a step ladder out there for him because he wanted to see not only what you were rocking from, because there's a big crowd of people. He wanted to see like your whole, like what you were rocking. And nobody really knew what was up, like what Steve's, what the architect's plans looked like. Only he knew. But it varied night to night, depending on what his mood was, who was already there, and what you had to be interesting to him in some way. I mean, obviously, you needed to be, for the most part, aesthetically pleasing to him, but not always. I mean, he picked a lot. That was his thing. He was known for bringing all these people together that were so very different, and everybody, no matter who you were. I mean, obviously, if you were, blowing rails with Mick Jagger, you were, actually, you'd be snorting them, not blowing them. Yeah, you'd be up in the, the real VVVIPPP. But it just all somehow seemed to work, because the dance floor, I believe, was I think where the real like debauchery took place was up in the VIP squared or cubed areas, where you really were, that was only celebrities. And I don't know if it's true or not, but urban legend, and I'm pretty sure I read it in one of the books, there were actual, let's just say, role-playing rooms down underneath in the basement where other debauchery took place. And I know there were bars down there. Studio 54 was a whole thing. It was a vibe. And he was masterful at bringing them all together and making it happen. I don't know how the hell we got from my new feature to a dissertation on Studio 54. But god dang, like, just think of me as the Steve Rebell of Krama. You never know what you're going to get here, okay? There might be a doctoral candidate, or hell, a full-on doctor in the DM chat. There might be somebody. We're just going to keep this right on moving. So I thought, you know what we need more of here besides disco balls and people who actually appear to have a pleasant day on Earth? I think we are going to have a new feature called the Big Word of the Day. Now, some days, the words might be bigger than others. But the word that I have chosen for today, and since this is our since we're just launching this concept today, this is the birth of the big word segment. We might just have 2 words. Hell, we might have 3. But here's the first one I've chosen. And not only are we going to read the definition, I am going to do the pronunciation. Or Google is going to do the pronunciation. Kids, the first word we're going to talk about is superfluous. Hold, please. Whoops. All right. Present. Yes, our biggest challenge here is going to be me remembering to actually share the screen. You know, I'm not good at that always. Okay. Superfluous. Unnecessary. Oh, especially through being more than enough. And then we have some examples. Isn't there more examples? I don't care for that. Oh, the Latin. It comes from super, which means over, and fluor, which means to flow, to overflow, which kind of reminds me of, shut the fuck up. This is like a zhuzhed up. This is the OG STFU. Could you please stop being so superfluous? I love that. Okay, let's listen to Google pronounce.
Superfluous.
One more time, please, for the kids in the back.
Superfluous.
Oh, I love that. Superfluous. All right. What do you think about that? Now, if you all would like to use superfluous in a sentence, well, I mean, there might be a fabulous prize at the end of this episode. I'm just kidding. There's not. Hey, Chaos, how are you? Wait, what is this about Walmart greeters? Can we have titles of the Walmart greeters? Well, in honor of old Bets, of literacy challenged Bets, Betty, this one's for you, girl. Oh, Betty. Let's see. Behoove. Let's hear it.
Behoove.
Behoove. God, the only thing that could make that better is if a French woman could say it. Behoove. It is a duty or responsibility for someone to do something. It is incumbent on. Oh gosh. Everything was going so well until you had to screw it up and throw in another big word like incumbent. Let's try that again. It is a duty or responsibility for someone to do something. It is incumbent on. So Betty, when you say, I behoove you to go to the library and, I don't know, read a book, bitch. Oh God, did I say that? I wish I could make her read it. It won't matter. I've said it 87,000 times. Spudler, how did you know I was going to pick that word? My gosh. How did you know that? Wait, there's one more. I thought I chose another one. Oh, yes, I did. Hold on. This one is more, well, oh, look at that. How does that go?
Plethora.
One more time?
Plethora.
Oh, while we're here, one more. Do it again. Come on. I know I said one more time. Listen, bitch, you work for me. You're going to say it as many times as I tell you to.
Plethora. Plethora. Plethora.
Can you go any faster? I don't have all day to do this with you.
Plethora.
Uh-huh.
Plethora.
Uh-huh.
Plethora.
Uh-huh.
Plethora.
Uh-huh.
Plethora.
What's that mean again? Oh, a large or excessive amount of something. Like, okay. One more time.
Plethora. 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 Plethora.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well. Oh, nonsense. I do not have an Alexa because, I'm sorry. I am worried about internet security and I'm worried about shit spying on me. So what do? Thank you so much. This is a perfect segue into our next show topic. Teemu. Yes. So I should just go ahead and buy an Alexa because I've pretty much just sold my soul to the Chinese with my first Teemu order. I can't wait to get it. And I couldn't wait to get it so much that I paid express shipping. Now, it wasn't very much because if y'all want something fun to do, if you just need a good laugh, take yourself onto Teemu, go to the clothing department, and just pull up something. And then go to the reviews and look at all the just everyday people who have bought the clothing and had the, it seems like they might be from the Betty school of thought, like, well, never mind. I was going to say, whoa, good self-image, not worried about putting all your, listen, I'm just going to right here and now, ladies, please, I'm almost begging, please do not get tattoos on your breasts unless you are rocking, some silicone CCs, the amount of which exceed Betty's IQ score, because mine are, should I have 2 flowers on my silicone fun bags, they would still be where they started. However, if you are not, well, let's just say that breasts are very susceptible to gravity. And what starts off as a rose or a daisy oftentimes turns into a palm tree. But oh my God, some of the customer photos, you guys. I mean, I was just like, damn girl, I wish I had that much self-confidence to put my ass, cellulite riddled ass, on Teemu for all the world to see. Yes, I do have cellulite. Just like I told that illiterate viper, speaking of literacy, just like I told that illiterate viper, Prayer Garden of America. PG, yeah, despite what it may look like, I'm not perfect. I have cellulite just like every other woman. Mine is just in a place you're never going to see it unless I decide to do a review of a thong that I buy on Teemu that cost 1/2 of 1 penny. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh wait, what? There's some good shit going on in the chat, I think. What in the hell? I'm afraid to even ask what that means. And then I saw this, and I saw sackcloth, and for some reason I saw a shirt somewhere else, and I started, I guess because I was thinking of Prayer Garden, and she's a religious woman, so it made me think of one of the things I gifted Prayer Garden. Like I did a list for Betty. I did one for PG back in the day. I'm kind of known for my lists. I gave Prayer Garden, PG, it's not too late to use that all expenses paid trip to the Gaza Strip that I gave you. Remember? airfare. I even said you could bring a friend, like accommodations for two. And believe it or not, now PG, this was before I met Betty, okay? So, but because it was so popular with you, I also gifted Betty an all expenses paid trip to the Gaza Strip. Now, I understand this was before the conflict over there, but Betty would go under the guise of a reporter. You would go just, well, you're reporting for Jesus, Prayer Garden. Yes, reporting for Jesus. And Betty's reporting for Tragedy Pimps Express. Oh, shit, I don't know. But I donated to PG for her trip a hair shirt. And anybody who's not familiar with a hair shirt, well, that's a rather uncomfortable item. It was kind of back from, you know, medieval times, that period of time. And you know, it was kind of like a penance that the sinners would wear to, you know, it was very uncomfortable. Now, I would, you know, I don't know if it's quite as uncomfortable as modern day. Like, I don't know, if I ran up in my attic and got, you know, oh God, insulation is so pretty. It's too bad that it's, ooh. So yeah, I mean, I think a modern day hair shirt is probably made of like insulation kind of material. You know, oh God, it itches, it burns. Oh God, probably. Oh, never mind. But I'd have to think back in the day. It was. Do you think they had anything back then that could have been as uncomfortable as insulation? Like if I just whipped up a very pretty, and Betty does look good in light pink. I mean, I did tell her that the other day. I don't know, but y'all could be roommates. And while you're there, you know, you'd be doing hard-hitting reporting, journalistic, on the scene. Oh, Betty. I've seen some reporters absolutely rocking the Kevlar with the giant press. And then, my God, I saw a girl the other night. She was so cute. It like she made that metal baseball hat thing look sexy. And anything that covers Betty's hair is sexy in my book. Yeah, so I decided to throw the towel in and give up all my anonymity along with my credit card information to Teemu. Actually, I used my debit card, so that's a good thing. Yeah, we're gonna do an unboxing. But y'all, I'm not kidding. It was, some of the pictures with the reviews were absolutely hilarious. I mean, I'm looking at them going, ma'am, don't you have like grandchildren somewhere that are not going to want to see this picture of grandma? Like, seriously. And I'm talking women of every size, shape. I don't care if you look like a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. I don't know. I get a little like, ooh, it gets my blood pressure up a little bit to think about putting semi-clothed pictures on Teemu. Hi, Smiles. How are you? Well, that is an apropos name. You know, I try to bring the smiles when you come here. Hey, Glory. So yes, when I get my Teemu package, now listen, I know Rowena told me I should wait and not open any of it. Hello, I'm like a child, okay? I'm sitting at my door like my dog, waiting to go out for that damn Teemu package. There is no possible way I am going to be able to wait until I go live to open that shit. What I will do is open it all and pretend I didn't. I'll put it all back in the little packages, and we will do a fake reveal. And there might be some people who roll up who didn't hear me say that I was going to do that. So yeah. Oh, KB, there's no possible way. None. Listen, half the time I cannot wait between the grocery store parking lot and my kitchen before I open a friggin' box of Fruity Pebbles. And that is hand to God. And I'm only 5 minutes away. My husband got in my car the other day. He doesn't typically drive my car. He got in my car the other day and he was like, were you hungry when you went to the grocery store? There was like a trail. Just like I've always said, if I ever go missing, 2 things. Do not call the true crime YouTubers. Fuck that. I'll take my chances on my own. Leave me. Let it lie. So do not call the YouTubers. And second thing, I will not be leaving breadcrumbs. Look for the Fruity Pebbles, okay? And that's where you'll find me. So yes, there is no possible. Okay, wait a minute. I got to see this about wedding dresses. Hold on, I've got to do a conversion. I need to find out how many American dollars 500 quid is. I know how to do pounds or euros. I know how to do that conversion. Quid, I'm not. Well, I knew how to do the euro and the pound when the dollar is at a certain exchange rate. And I don't keep up with the daily fluctuating rate of the euro or the GBP. Great British pound. Is that? Yeah, isn't that? Okay. My husband's a damn economist in this family. He makes it, I spend it. That's how it goes. Okay, 500 quid. American. Oh, we'll do USD. USD equivalent. No, not USF. USD equivalent. Okay, let's see what it says. Okay, that 500. No, wait a minute. I said 500 quid. This tells me 500 pounds sterling equals 622 and 85 cents in American dollars. Oh, so I would have been close in the conversion I know how to do. So my goodness, clearly the dollar's down a little bit. That's weird. Okay, what is quid equal to $1? Oh, okay, so it's about, wait a minute. Why does it keep telling me GBP, Great British Pound, or pound sterling? Okay. I'll get Maria Bartiromo on the phone. My husband calls her the money honey. She is gorgeous. She looks like Sophia Loren, I think. She is the financial correspondent on Fox Business Channel. And me and Maria, we're like this. Sunday mornings, I wake up, that bitch is in my kitchen eating pancakes. Hey, Fairy Meadows, how are you? Come again? Well, listen, I ordered a lot of shit. They're not going to be able to fit it in a plastic bag. Does everything not come in one? You guys, I ordered. Okay, on my first order, there was 25 items. Are you telling me I'm going to have 25 plastic bags? But I promise, whatever it comes in, I'm going to wrap it all back up and I'm going to pretend that I didn't open it. Hey, T. Marie, how are you? Hi, Stargazer Mom. How are you? I see everything. Okay, quid is slang for pound. Okay, perfect. So $622.85. I'm making sure I didn't miss anybody. Becca, I know I said hi to you, right? I think I did. Hi again. Or hi the first time. And you'd be happy to know I did buy another fascinator. Hell yes, I did. And I think I bought one fascinator, and I think there's 97 more in my other cart. You guys, I was just so, first of all, I have been working on that stupid Teemu cart. Y'all know I like my lists, okay? I'm old and I like paper, and I can't remember jack shit of what I'm supposed to do from day to day. So I write everything down on paper lists. And what usually happens is some version of this. Pretend this is my first list. I might accomplish two out of 20. This just moves to this. And then I add a few more things that I'm not going to do on that date either. And then we move those to this and so on until I've got a list that's the size of a friggin' roll of toilet paper. And eventually this is what happens. Oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. Fuck this. True story. Now, in addition to our big word of the day, I bought this book when I was in Newport. I just love books. Like I have tons of coffee table books. Those are all fashion jewelry. But I like little small coffee table books too. And I bought this one for my office. And I thought, well, my God, do I know a place that needs that? 8,789 words of wisdom, proverbs, precepts, maxims, adages, and axioms to live by. So I thought, you know what? Yes, I'm just going to do one of these. And that's where we're going. So, my God, my eyebrows. I sure hope I got a damn Botox appointment coming up. Because those eyebrows, got a little too much movement going on there. Oh, and by the way, I need to report for anyone who does the Botox in their jaws for grinding your teeth. That, sir, that money would have been better spent above my glabella, my crow's feet, and in my hairline, okay? Because it was utterly useless in my jaw. I like there's nothing I cannot do. So that, do you think it's because my goodness, could it be because I've been having it so long that my body's like, and the dentist even told me that, because I said to him, I said, I just have one question before you do this. How is it that you are going to inject Botox into this muscle? I think this is called is it the mastoid? Anyway, he said, this is one of your largest and strongest muscles. And isn't that shocking to think that one of the strongest muscles is the one that moves your mouth? Boy, mine is extra strong, that's for sure. Because I said, how is it that you're going to put this here and it's going to stop me from doing or that, but there's no chance that because God knows all of YouTube would cry for a month if, like, is there any chance that I could, like, not be able to, I don't know, move my mouth? And he just laughed and said no. He said, and that's when he said, this is your strongest, one of the strongest muscles. And he said, this is an entirely different grade of Botox than cosmetic Botox. Pass the botulism. You gotta love a world where, God, science is so amazing. I leave things like DNA to Betty and genetic genealogy. Betty tackles the tough scientific subjects. I just marvel at the fact that botulism, which will kill you, and from what I understand, it will kill you fast and it's painful. But refined just the right way will make your wrinkles disappear. God, I love science. What a wonderful world. What a wonderful world we are. Yeah, see, Betty, you girl, take it from me. Find the little things in life to marvel at. And I don't know, maybe make you smile. Although I don't think there's much that makes us smile. Oh, but we're gonna find out, aren't we? When we meet the softer side of Betty. All right, so I swear to God, you can see where my finger landed. What do you think that says? You know, I don't play the lottery, but I'm contemplating starting today. A closed mouth gathers no foot. Oh, that's very ironic. Oh, how about that, kids? Okay, so in addition to the big word of the day, yeah, we're going to get back to, just some little words to live by. All right, so stand by, y'all. Oh, my Teemu order. I was going to tell you how long it took me to do this. It's been a good, I'd say anywhere between 6 and 8 weeks since I opened up the Teemu app for the very first time. And I have my sister-in-law to thank for that, because she came over just, oh my God, have you been on Teemu? I'm like, I said, hell no, I don't buy that knockoff shit, because that's what she buys on there. And oh my God, I've scolded her so many times. Like, please stop buying all that shit, okay? Do you know what you're supporting? This, that, blah, blah, blah. And no, she won't. And I would completely understand it if she was someone who didn't spend obscene amounts of money, like, oh, I don't know, everywhere else. I mean, I kid you not, my sister-in-law has, wait for it, one time she spent $150 at the Taco Bell drive-thru, and she was not having a dinner party. I mean, she had a couple people there, some kids. I was like, what? Why didn't you just, go get them all a filet mignon? What? I said, how do you even do that? So when I tell you that she's not allowed, she's not afraid to blow money on shit, but just will not. She just will continue to buy plastic knockoff purses. Hey, Drew Jackson. Petunia Picklebutt, I agree. I had a great time. So, hi, Michelle. So, yes, she just was, oh, no, you've got to see this, and look at this, and look at that, and this cost 12 cents, and this was 25 cents. And I'm like, I said, no, because when when I first heard it, I said, what the hell's Teemu? I'm thinking, does Dory, like, is this a sequel to Finding Nemo? Like, are we finding Teemu? What? That's what I thought, truly. And then she said, no, it's like, oh God, what are those other ones? I don't even know if it's still around. AliExpress. I think Alibaba became AliExpress, and there's another one. But anyway, when she said it was like that, I looked at her, I said, you know, I don't buy that knockoff shit. And she said, no, it's not just that. And then she showed me something. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't need that. And then she showed me something else. And I was like, Jane, no, her name's not Jane. She showed me one more thing. I'm like, stop, I'm not buying anything from there. Then she showed me something and I was like, ooh, let me, give me that phone. I said, what's that app called? And that's when I started. And they were all watching football, which I don't give a shit about football. So I was like, oh, okay, let me see what this is all about. So I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I think I need my iPad for this job. I need to see these pictures a little bigger. So that's, look at that, Fairy Meadows. Okay, I'm very. Oh God, Kathy P, I'm afraid to ask. Crazy Nurse sent me a video this morning about Teemu, and I said, don't you dare try and rain on my Teemu parade. Oh, listen, I'm sure that it was. I'm probably now going to go in some database that's. I mean, the very first time that I went on that site, okay, my husband wanted to look at it like a week ago. My husband, he's such a nerd. He goes, do they have bird feeders on there? I said, honey, they have everything on here. So he wants to replace one of the bird feeders. And I think it was, and it's nice. It's a tall one and it's like metal. And, you know, it's kind of like a penthouse bird feeder, if you will. We treat our birds right, okay? Those birds need to be kept in the lifestyle they have become accustomed to. So he said, well, I figured I'd look since I hear everybody talking about it. So he comes out a few minutes later and I said, oh, did you find anything? And he said, yeah, no. They want your email just to get on the site and look. And he said, yeah, fuck that. I said, oh, honey, here, just take my iPad. So he did. And he still didn't find, oh my God, are they the Cloudies? Are they knockoff Cloudies? Because I wear Cloudies. In fact, look. Y'all, I'm like Oprah Winfrey, okay? I'm sure you noticed that some of my Louboutins I only wear on carpet, much like Oprah Winfrey. So Oprah except I don't have anybody to bring me the damn shoes. I walk in my office wearing the. Now I have regular Cloudies, but these are the generic Cloudies from Amazon. They're a little different than the legit Cloudies, which these are like memory foam for anybody who doesn't know. And I have to say, they are incredibly comfortable. But, you know, for my audience expects me to bring it, okay? I can't come in here in my damn Cloudies. So I walk in my office in the Cloudies, and then I sit down and, you know, as you can see, these are, well, they've got a little bit of scuff on them, but I have a carpet in here and I put my shoes on when I get in the carpet and I go and I do the video. And then, of course, when I'm sitting in my chair, I wear the shoes because they're my power. Or they're at least, this is my power. They're just, they just, heels do. They just make you throw your shoulders back. If you doubt me, go get a pair. Anyway, my husband did not find anything he liked. I'm like, oh wow, they don't have bird feet. Okay. But I would get on there and I mean, you want to talk about a rabbit hole. That's all it is because, and I have to say this, whoever the program they've written into it to do what in essence is their search engine optimization, it's pretty good because whatever I go on and look at, you don't even have to back out of it. You can just scroll down and what you were looking at before is going to come back up again, but so are other things in that vein. And then, of course, you click on that, and that takes you to this rabbit hole and that rabbit hole. And hey, Nurse Beth. Oh, listen, I fell on the way into my office a few weeks ago. Hit every wall on the way down, but I put my hand out to brace myself, but my shoulder like landed in the where two walls meet in a corner. But it wasn't the height of the heels for me. It was the sole of the heel was this like plastic, which was shocking because typically my shoes are usually like a leather sole or not a like, I mean, it was almost like plastic and it just connected wrong with something and down I went. But, oh God, pins and plates. Hi, Arctic Timber Wolf. How are you? So yes, it truly took me 6 to 8 weeks to make the order. And I tried very hard to not. Here's one good thing about this is I promise you will get the benefit of whatever mistakes I made when I ordered. Because and I have to say, I tried to be very careful. Here's one thing I know already that I would, if you're thinking of buying anything from there, that I would caution. And sorry. I don't know why. So many lipsticks. I'm not even eating anything. And my coffee doesn't have anything in it, but it makes lipsticks, like, especially in the corners, they just get, they get like crummy. It's nasty. This I know already. And I know I can tell you, if you care about this kind of thing, pay close attention to this. Now, it took me, I have to say, I think it's pretty user-friendly the way it's set up. It's not difficult to navigate. But, well, it probably would have taken me a lot less time if I had learned and utilized I think what is more important than the stock photo, by all means, if you are thinking of buying anything on there, I don't care what it is, click on whatever it is. And if you go down, maybe about a quarter of the way down on the page, look where it says reviews. hit that review button and look for the customer photos, because that, hey Zen, those customer photos will show you probably a much more accurate representation of what you're getting than the stock photos. And I can tell you that many of you may know this about me. Sorry, a little closer. I really hate polyester. I just do. And it's not a bougie thing. Well, maybe it might be a little bit of bougie thing, but it truly, for the most part, because let me tell you, polyester has come a long way. And there are some polyesters out there that look very much like, if not, some of them look like silk, and if not silk, at least like a nice rayon. But Florida, it's hot as a mofo here, okay? And synthetic fabrics do not breathe like natural fabrics do. I love silk. For me, is a go-to, and if you do it properly, you can actually wash most silk in the machine. You have to do it on delicate. You need to have decent water. And I have the worst water in the world because it's well water. But trust me when I tell you, there is a crazy filtration. We have a filtration system to make it as good as it can be, but nonetheless, it is still well water. But it's suffocating in Florida. So I try and stick with cotton, linen, even linen. I mean, linen and cotton can be kind of heavy. So when I can, I try and opt for something in silk. But I noticed on Teemu, they will use stock photos of, I had a lot of like graphic print t-shirts in my cart, because I live in t-shirts, and I just love a good t-shirt. Well, so many of them, almost 99, and by so many I mean 99% of them, after I caught on to start looking at the customer photos, I went back in my cart and anything that was clothing, which the only clothing I had in there was t-shirts. I bought 2 like cardigan, not eyelash fabric, but a really like fluffy, almost like blanket material, just for winter, like a long cardigan. And when I went back through the cart and looked at the customer images, almost all of them, while looking like cotton in the stock photo, not cotton. Most of them are either what I call performance fabric, which is like an Under Armour or, workout clothes, like a poly spandex blend, which I'm cool with that for just knocking around. But I've got plenty of that. I don't need to buy any more of that. And I don't need to buy it with a graphic that I'm thinking is on a t-shirt. So most of those came out of the cart. I mean, for the most part, what I bought was costume jewelry. Here's a great example. And I'm telling you, I saw multiple things on there that I either bought, hey, blank screen. Oh, Stargazer. Mine's not that bad, but that's because there are 2 bottles in my garage that take care of the well, and they are about 7 or 8 feet tall. They're huge. They look like giant oxygen tanks. Yeah, Nurse Bev, exactly. So I saw things like, I don't know, you see these rings right here? I bought, these came 5. You got 5 rings. They were not sold separately. These I got on Amazon. So there's white, clear, black, green, and pink. And for these 5 rings, I think it was $28 on Amazon. When I tell you, I saw these exact rings and they were like, I think 99 cents or maybe $1.19. So I bought a ton of costume jewelry because that, for me, it's a win-win. I don't give a shit if it breaks in a week because what I'm buying on Amazon, that's costume, because all this kind of stuff, all the fun stuff, that's all junk jewelry, which I love. I have a box full of it. I'm still, even if I buy it and it breaks in a week, I'm still coming out way cheaper than I would be buying it on Amazon or somewhere else. And I promise you, if you buy any stuff like that here in the States, and go on Teemu, you will see plenty of things on there that you're like, well, damn, I bought that on blah and spent blah blah. So lots of jewelry. These I bought, I think it was in that order, the first one. Cheaters. This is a little harder because, they look great. I tried to only buy glasses where I could see them either on the model stock photo, because a lot of them just show you the glasses. So I tried to only pick a few pair that had real people wearing them. These, like, perfect example. These, I think I had two pair similar to this because I just love these. These colors look good on with blonde hair. These came from Anthropology in Knoxville, and I think these were, I want to say they were $40 or $45. These are just cheaters. I think these are at $1.5. What looks very much, they're very similar. They may not be exact, but they're damn close. Anywhere between $3.49 and $4.25. Jewelry, glasses. I bought, oh God, I did buy one skirt that it's kind of like a tutu. It'll I couldn't resist. But I tried to buy things that there wasn't going to be any big surprises with the material. Hey, Cece Jones, how are you? So here's what I would not buy, and there's tons of. I mean, apparently, knockoff Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes are quite popular on Teemu. That's the kind of stuff, y'all, I would not, I personally will never buy. I would not recommend anybody else buys. I would not buy any kind of cosmetic product on there because you don't know. And I will say this, I saw several reviews, and we all know what this is. With fabrics, especially, where people talked about, oh my God, the smell when I open the box. Y'all, I'm fairly certain that some of the dyeing process and whatnot in the manufacturing of those garments, which absolutely is taking place in a sweatshop, might be a sweatshop with decent working conditions, but I don't know, that would kind of be an oxymoron when using the term sweatshop. So, but that's me using it, not them, obviously. It can have a very strong smell because I would imagine they don't have regulation by the FDA like we have. So jewelry, glasses, a little bit of clothing. I think that, yeah, that's all I got. And I think I'm gonna buy a pair of like the Cloudies, but it's a flip-flop, and they have this giant rubber bow. I'm a sucker for a bow. I bought 2 silicone phone cases, and I think that's about it. But my God, anything you can imagine, with the exception of a birdhouse, is on there. So yes, we're gonna do a Teemu haul review. I bought it, so you don't have to. Okay, so there's that. And I think there was only one other thing. I was going to tell you guys about, there's few things I get a charge out of more than when I'm in the bushes somewhere and someone says that, well, that crime's in fashion. And I pop out the bush and say, hey girl, hey. Last night, and this was a first for me. Last night, somebody sent me a text and said that is it paper cut or paper clip? It's paper cut, right? That Paper Cut Tina was live. And she was addressing, I thought, and she might have just gotten there late. The PJ, the PJ Dolly PCT Patina love triangle. Kind of like the Bermuda Triangle. And yeah, Dolly, I'm just going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that, sir, you need to handle that situation. If you're like, not that you're looking for, love line style advice from Dr. Crimes and Fashion, but, just as a woman, I'm going to say, I would not, I'm coming at this from a place of, I probably should just take my own advice and STFU, because I don't watch any of them to know the situation, but it's been explained to me by people who do. And I just know, and I hate the fact that everybody's weighing in on this because we shouldn't be. But I kind of think that if he had taken care of it, we wouldn't know about it. So yeah, oh, and Deanna, oh yeah, yes, so, but just as a woman, I can say that, and I've never said one word. I've never seen PJ. I don't know her from Adam's House Cat, nor Tina. But obviously I've seen Tina at different times in the community when different things have been discussed. So, but PJ, I have not. But Michelle, for one of the trifecta, probably. For two of them, or at least one of them, I definitely do not think that's the case. But what do I know? I just know that it should not have become YouTube content fodder. And I kind of think it might not have if it had been handled differently, but not my circus, not my monkeys, not my business. But that's not going to stop me from talking about it. But I'm just not like, I don't feel like I'm in a position to be given love line advice. Except I am a woman, and hey, Truth Seeker, how are you? But so here I am. I decide, okay, I'm gonna go over there. But I'm like, this is kind of swimming in uncharted territory for sure. Never spoken a word to Tina. Never been to her channel. I don't even know how long she's had a channel. She's never come over here. Hey, Cheesy Wheezy. And I think I might have missed the good part. Well, hell, it was all the good part. Come on. I was kind of vacillating. Okay, here's how it started. So I get there, and I'm just taking it all in. Okay. Now yellow is, I mean, it was giving me anxiety, but that's just me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of yellow, but I don't need to be. I don't live there. But I like color, so I'm gonna, Tina, good for you for embracing your love of color, because clearly you have a love of color, and I like that because I do too. I just don't love the color you love, but that's okay. Different strokes for different folks. And I have to say, as far as yellow goes, while neon yellow cab, yellow would not be my choice. Yellow is a hard color to choose. Yellows and blues are very difficult. In my experience, green can also go very wrong, but yellow in particular is pretty tough to get right. So while I'm not a yellow fan, I think in terms of yellow, she did pretty good with that yellow. So I get there, and like I said, I'm taking it all in, and I don't know, I might be going into enemy territory there. I know that I don't know if Crimes in Fashion is probably not, well, I'm sure a lot of them have no freaking clue who I am. And if they do, it's only because of the show, the Turtle Island thing. But I don't know. I got to think, well, like yesterday, I met Miss Ann for the first time. Now, I have seen Miss Ann go on Queen Bee's panel in the past. I think it was right. Oh, there was an unfortunate falling out for a short period of time with Miss Ann and some of Dolly's people. And so while I have heard Miss Ann on a panel before, and I was aware that you know, unfortunately, she's dealing with some health struggles. I gotta say, I liked Miss Ann the first time I ever heard her. I love a Southern accent. Okay, I do. I'm a sucker for a Southern accent, especially in a woman. I don't know. It just, I don't know. Like, I love Savage's accent. I don't. I mean, truthfully, I don't know that there's a Southern accent that I don't like. But at any rate, I don't know. For the first time I heard Miss Ann, I just thought, oh, I like her. And then, you know, she kissed and made up with whatever was. Oh, look at Lisa Cartwheel. Well, hi, how are you? Oh, Deanna, that's right. I forgot. You're there a lot. Okay. Oh, yes, Deanna. My girl. I may not know her, but I got that part figured out. Well, I don't know about his panels, but let's, you know what I'm saying. At any rate, listen, we all have our little issues. But I actually interacted with her for the first time on Queen Bee's yesterday. And I was like, you know, when I said, oh, hi, Miss Ann, I'm Lisa. It's nice to meet you. And I don't think that I don't know that she put two and two together. Like, oh, that's that little bitch from Crimes and Fashion. I don't know, maybe she did, but I got the impression that she just had, like, she said, who's that talking to me or something? It was funny. And she hasn't, why would she know me? She had no reason to know me. But I liked interacting with her. I thought it was cute. Oh, Deanna, go back and listen to the time that Miss Ann's on panel. It was funny. But anyway, so I'm listening because I'm in the bushes. And this is the second or third time this has happened to me. And what is this? Well, this is when I'm on the down low somewhere doing one of these. And, you know, and all of a sudden I hear, well, Crimes and Fashion. One time it was at Laura's, and I popped right out of those bushes, and psh, I think it happened to Heels in the Air last week when she was in my bushes here. She did the same thing. I love it. I think it's like I get a charge out of it. I'm pretty sure whoever's house it is that I pop out of the bushes in, well, they either get a charge out of it or they're calling the cops to, like, come take me away. I don't know. I'm a big fan of irony, and that's doesn't get much more ironic than that. So, much like the experience I just spoke of, Tina was, like I said, I think I missed the part where what I was there to hear, which I think was her clap back to Tina or to PJ. And I was kind of like, and I was texting the person who told me to go and check it out. And of course, y'all know me. And, you know, can you imagine what the text messages were that were going back and forth? And not being mean, but just me. Listen, y'all, when I come in here and I make you laugh, I promise you, this is like, I don't think about any of this. I come in, this is me. I'm like this. I'm like this with my mother. I'm like this with my father. I'm like this with my son. I'm like this with my husband. I'm like this with my best friend. This is just me. This is how I am. So it will probably come as no surprise to you that I was going back and forth. And let's just say I was, you know, well, I do try and censor myself a bit on here because, listen, contrary to what Betty may think, and probably some other people, I'm not interested in being ugly to people. And there's like what I'm gonna say with Tina. She said, "Oh yes, he is." Nurse Bev, yes, Mike and I are separated again. Anyway, Peachy Keen, a Metarine, Peachy Keen, well, however you say it, hi. I'm sure I bungled it, but all right, so I'm just getting the lay of the land, okay? I'm checking out who's in the chat. There are some names that I recognize, and actually several that have come here and do come here. So I was like, oh, okay. They probably don't all want to read me for filth. So all of a sudden, Tina says I didn't hear one thing about what I was there to hear. So I don't know, maybe she dealt with it before I got there. I'm not sure, but she said, and she was talking about the room she was in. And first she did one of these and said, and I just want people to know that I do not stand up on camera to, I think she said crotch shots, something like that. Hey, Corky Carlotta. And then she said, here's the good part. She said, and I know that Crimes and Fashion, she's very upset by my window, what did she call it? She didn't say sheet, but and then of course I felt like a big old piece of shit because she said, well, I'm sorry. I do. She said something that I don't remember. And then she said, I do the best I can with what I have. And I was like, oh God, that Crimes and Fashion. God, she's such a bitch. And at that point, I popped out of the bushes and I said, hey, Tina. I said, girl, I'm just playing with you. I'm not mad at your I'm not mad at your windows or something like that. And I mean that, like, I am never, well, I'm not going to say, in almost 99% of the time, 95, well, let's get real, 95% of the time, I am truly, there's no, like, I'm not trying to, it's me being funny. It's comedy. It's not, I hate your guts and I want to make you cry. No, absolutely not. Especially not in the case of Tina. I don't even know her. Oh, Chris, what? Tell me, what's going on about Mike? Oh, well, I guess stranger things have happened, but I don't know. I don't think Mike's an attorney. And if Mike is, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, you need to file a notice of appearance like yesterday. Although, I don't know, he probably wouldn't be licensed to, I don't know that. I don't know where he lives. Mike, go find, if you're not licensed to practice in the state of Illinois, find competent co-counsel and ride second chair. You can do it. Anyway, so yes, at that point I felt like I needed to come out of the bushes and apologize to Tina and just tell her, girl, I'm just kidding you. But the reason I have this comment highlighted is Deanna, I was like towards the end. It was almost like I couldn't stop listening, but I was doing one of these and I was like, ow. Listen, y'all, this is just my friend. And PJ, I had a little bit of this when she was talking too. And not because of like, not in an unkind way, but y'all, please stop sharing details that I promise you, okay? They will be used against you. And I'm not saying this is not a commentary on should they, why would they? I just know they will. When someone gets pissed at you, like, please, y'all, do not ever tell people what kind of medication you take, why you take it, unless that's the kind of channel you have. But I just know that a lot of people on here, they don't have the kind of scruples that people like me have. So I may talk smack about your window coverings, or tell you got a fat ass, your hair's melted, whatever. I may do things like that. But when it comes down to actual bad intent and wanting to, use something I've heard about you in a way to shame you, etc., I don't roll that way. But I promise you, there's many, 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 many people who do. So unless you have a channel where that's the focus of your channel, don't give these people ammunition to help them when they turn on you, because it'll happen. It just will. It's naive and foolish to think anything otherwise. There's a lot of unscrupulous people on here, and whatever little bits that you willingly give them, they will at some point willingly throw it right back in your face and use it to try and hurt you. So that's that. I don't know how I did that. But yes, Stargazer, she did. Apparently, Queen Bee was nice enough to come over there with some other people, and Tina got all like, wow, I don't know. I guess she was afraid she was going to get in trouble. So yeah, she told them they needed to leave. And then bless her little heart, I think she asked them to hit the like button on the way out. So yeah, blank screen. I think Betty is in my computer, actually. I think that's what that is. It's like, we're gonna get that little bitch one way or the other. You know what that reminded me of when I just said that? In The Wizard of Oz, the witch, the green witch riding her bicycle. I'm gonna get you and your little dog too. I don't know why I'm doing this when I should. No, she was on the bike. Remember how she was like this? She was just pedaling so fast. She had her little basket in the front. What would Betty put in her basket? Oh God, a bullhorn. Oh God, did you hear that dumbass talking about that bullhorn? Oh, they put some work into that bullhorn. God, they ought to put some work into you. Fuck the bullhorn. I mean, oh boy. So yes, that was one of my better reveals from the bushes, springing forth from the bushes. Let's see, what else did I say to Tina in the chat? She was talking. she was talking about some of her struggles, and I actually told her. She talked about, you know, some of the struggles she had when her children were younger, and you know, just steps that she took to change her life for the better of her children. And I told her, I said, Tina, good for you, and I'm glad you did that for your children. That's, and I mean that. That's, I mean, oh, hold on, that's my husband wanting my dinner order or my lunch order. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I didn't realize. I'm like, oh, damn, it's too early. I said, don't worry about it. I'll go run up to the store later and grab something. Yeah. Oh, yeah, so yes, I don't think there's really much more to say about Tina, but yeah, she, you know, it's like, I don't want to, it's not my job to tell anybody how they should run their channel or what they should do. But I am going to say this in case she missed it. And this is just, hey, Remy, this is just Chris, did I say hi to you? Hi again, maybe. This is just woman to woman. As much as you, you know, quite understandably, as much as you love Dolly, girl, you need to look like, that's not a good look. I think that was my parting words to Tina, and she actually laughed. She said, "Now that I think is funny." Well, good. I'm glad. I said, you know, now I don't know if this is true, but this is what I've heard about Tina from several people, and you know, people who have been there to see it. I have not, but my understanding is there's a consensus that you know, she might put on a little bit of a naivete act, and that she can be quite manipulative, let's just say. And like, I don't know if that's true or not, but it's just something she said. Oh, she said she got teary sounding, and she said, well, I hope I can, you know, still be a turtle, still be part of the turtle gang. And I'm thinking, Tina, now listen, none of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles carried Kleenex, so come on now. Nope, there's no crying in YouTube, girl. And if there is, you've got to first start with, this is a video I hoped I never had to make. No. I said, as soon as she said she hoped she could still be a turtle and part of the turtle gang, I said, Tina, just don't. I said, I'm sure you can still be a turtle. Just don't be a snapping turtle. And she liked that. She said, now that I actually think is funny. And I said, Tina, I am funny, girl. At least there is a consensus that seems to think so. So yeah, there's that. And oh, now I need to know what Remy's asking. Oh God, is this about the art? Oh Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Well, There is a turtle called a cooter, not to be confused with a cougar. Tina, girl, I'm sorry if I spoke out of turn when I called you a cougar yesterday. But come on, Tina. Now I think it's, girl, just listen. Just wait your turn. I mean, just, just don't be like, don't be trying to go behind anybody's back. That's all I'm saying. And I mean, I'm saying that as a woman. Like, just don't be acting shady with someone else's man. It's just, that's not cool. Oh God, crisscross. Hey Stacy, I will not be watching that live. There's just no way. Number one, I don't stay up that late, and there is not a no. Yeah, if I just, excuse me, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I hope, what I'm hoping is that it's going to be one in a series. I hope that she's the first of what's going to be many. Oh God. I mean, honestly, and I will also say this, if you have not heard, if you're feeling like salty about it, like, oh my God, what the fuck is he doing? Which I have to admit, that was very much my first reaction. Keep listening to that episode, because I promise you it gets really funny. He had redeemed himself in my eyes within 30 minutes. And I was listening to it on 2 times the speed, I think, so maybe 15 minutes. I don't know. I mean, I gotta say, I don't get it. I totally get why she's doing it. Oh, Deanna, that is, I can't even go there. I know, Scorpio, me too. Thank God I'm married. No, there's no buying men. No, they need to do the buying. I'm very much old school in that respect. Yeah, I mean, I get it completely from her perspective. There's nothing but positives where she's concerned. For her, I mean. And maybe he feels the same way. I don't think he cares. I mean, he has always said he doesn't give a shit about the money. Like, this is not his only gig. He's built multiple channels after, having big channels, and then they're gone. And I do believe he has started from the bottom up several times. So I don't know, maybe it's the same for him. Maybe there is no real downside as far as he's concerned. Now, if he was someone that I thought, but I don't know, I'm just taking him at his word. Everything I've ever heard him say, as far as his thoughts on why he's on YouTube, what he does and does not get out of his channel, what motivates him, what he doesn't care about as far as the channel, the content, etc. That's all I'm going by. So what else could I go by? So when I look at it from that perspective, I have to think that if he was someone who this was his 24/7 only gig, this is how he paid his bills and ate, well, then of course I would think, well, I would be able to say, well, hey, let's face it. Most of the people that watch her, they hate watch her. It's just, I mean, I have to think that he reached out to her. I can't see her reaching out to him. I don't know. But look, we're all talking about it. So while I am only going with what, I don't know, truly, I cannot come up with, hey, Haley Hope. I cannot come up with knowing what I've heard him say, believing what I've heard him say. I cannot, hey, Dazed. Hey, girl, I was talking about you a little while ago, because Dazed 276 was the first YouTuber to I think Dazed, I don't know, Dazed, did you think that you were going to be interviewing Betty, or were you just giving her like a place to come and tell her story kind of thing? I mean, I talked about this a little in the beginning, and I said that Betty came to your channel to what I assumed was her trying to show a softer side of Betty type of thing. But I also said that I did not think that, I mean, I know Dazed is not a pushy, intrusive kind of person. And I said, I know that she always just let people talk. And in fact, I remember saying more than once, but definitely right after, I said, Dazed, oh, you just took the words right out of my mouth. Well, I know that what I said, and I said this earlier, that it was all just about Betty. And Dazed, you might remember this, but I said at the time that, and I still maintain this, that Dazed has a talent, a gift for something that is very hard, that many of us do not have in definitely not enough quantity. And that is the ability to just be quiet and listen, to not have to speak, to let the other person tell you. Like, that is part of the art of interviewing people. And one of the reasons, like, someone like Oprah Winfrey is so good. Number one, she's very relatable. And number two, she knows exactly when to ask. She knows when to not ask. And I said at the time when it happened, and I'm saying it now, and I said it in the beginning of this show when I talked about this the first time, that you were the first one to try this with Betty, and that it didn't, I couldn't have put it better than this. And I believe Dazed, I believe Dazed wanted to hear the story of every single person, not just Betty, of everyone who was gracious enough to come on her channel and open up. And I watched many of them. And Betty was one of the only ones I can remember where this is perfect. It was an advertisement. And I said, it didn't hit the mark because Betty couldn't relinquish any of her non-existent control issues. Like she had an agenda and she had what she wanted, and it came across exactly as that. I could not have said it better myself. So yeah, it's and when I came in here and started talking about this, it was one of the first things I said. I said, oh, for the benefit of any of you who either weren't here or you were here and you didn't see it, Dazed, is it still up? Oh, and yes, absolutely. That's kind of like I was just telling people, be careful what you share on here. It's, you know, and it's always hard because that's how people make bonds with us is by us being, oh, it is still up. Somebody, Crazy Nurse or one of the other mods, can you put Dave's channel link in here? For anyone who doesn't know, Days276, who is in the chat, is she doesn't just host karaoke. She, well, what's it been? At least a year? She attempted to interview Betty, or, well, I shouldn't say that. Betty went on to Day's channel and was going to supposedly tell her story, I guess. I don't know, but I would very much recommend, if you want a little preview, and here is my prognostication. I think it is going to go pretty much in the same vein. It'll go exactly the same, unless I have a feeling that he will probably have a much, Days, did y'all ever talk? Well, if I had to guess, I would say that he has probably talked to her multiple occasions in multiple formats. He's probably emailed with her. He's probably texted her. He's probably talked one-on-one with her. And I have a feeling that all of the, I don't see it as being a spontaneous type of thing. If I had to guess, I would think that all the questions and answers, much like Betty being the good pretend lawyer that she is. Well, what's the first rule? Lawyers do not, well, good lawyers, so there goes that. Yeah, you never ask a question you don't already know the answer to. So I have to think that from the perspective of both of them, it'll probably be about as spontaneous and unscripted. And when I say scripted, I don't mean like the two of them sat down and said, okay, well, I'm going to ask this and you're going to say, I think that if she was smart, which rhetorical, if it was me, here's what I'd say. Oh, yes, sir. You are really funny. Oh, I know you did. Yes, you did say probably shit as foul, if not more so, than that little bitch Crimes and Fashion and all those other mean assholes that are, persecuting me unjustly. Oh, yeah, yes, yeah, I am. Yes, I am YouTube famous. Oh, are you want to build your channel off of my clout? Is that what you want to do? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I might consider you interviewing, giving you the pleasure of a hard-hitting sit-down journalistic endeavor. but so when I say scripted, and I would think just for purposes of the interview being as productive as it could possibly be, I would be very shocked if all the questions, well, if it was me, I would say, yes, I'll consider it. If we got further down the line in our talks, I would then get to the point where I would say, I want to see I'm only going to consent to answering questions that you and I have already, I want to see all the questions. Now, if I was him, I would say, well, okay, I'll consider that, but are you going to give me all the answers up front? And then, of course, when you get to the interview, you would say, like Oprah and all the rest of them say, we did not agree. We didn't agree on the questions and the answers ahead of time. They have no idea what I'm going to ask. I mean, I don't know if that's. Do you want me to watch this now, Crazy Nurse? But anyway, I think it's going to be. Listen, I don't believe for one hot second that she would ever consent to being interviewed by someone who formerly drugged her. And I'll take him at his word when he, and I do believe when he said, see, because I'm not funny in the way he is, but I definitely can understand. I can relate to, there are things you will say and do in the pursuit of comedy, which does not translate to, oh, well, I'm doing this because I hate your guts and I want to see something terrible happen to you. I mean, I don't believe that. So oh, Runaway Truth, how are you? Oh, you skeptic. Hey, literally Davis fan. I agree. So I just don't believe that she would ever, I mean, she's dumb. I don't think she's quite that dumb. I don't think she would ever consent to doing an interview without first seeing all the questions that he's proposing. I would imagine she would look through them and, much like I redline her non-existent punctuation, abhorrent grammar usage and spelling in her legal documents, much like I redline those, I'm sure she will then redline, no, not answering that, no, not discussing that. And of course they'll say, oh, and Betty's an open book. At least Betty will say she's an open book. But of course, when you get to the page in the book where she's, doesn't like that, she'll tell you you're fucking stupid and, your problem is you're not educated and blah, blah, blah. Is he going to ask her that? That's what I want to know. Are you going to ask her to see her, where she got her press credentials from and all this good stuff? Like, it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. But yeah, Betty's got absolutely nothing to lose at all. She's not like gaining. So listen, I have had consistently in the last several weeks I have consistently had more people in my live streams. More people are coming to listen to me talk about her than listening to her talk about anything. I love that for her. But and even today, when I'm not talking about her, we are right now. But this live has not been dedicated to Betty. So she has nothing to lose at all. Her morons, they're still going to be there, no matter what. Like I said, what his motivation is, that's what I'm not clear on at all. But, I don't need to be, but I'd be lying if I said that it did not. I mean, come on, find me. Is there anybody in this chat who was not, like, whose mouth didn't fall open when they heard it? See, and Betty will confuse that with, "Ooh, see, I am famous." No, people are just shocked that morbid. It would be like, well, not to this degree because he's not been around to do commentary on her as long in this arena, the length of time that I've been doing it. But on a smaller scale, it would be like the equivalent of if y'all woke up tomorrow morning and me or the Glare decided, or Burnt Toast decided to interview Betty. But I'm going to try and keep an open mind. Judge Janine's man. Hi, Spacey 11. Hi. Sorry, I'm just going back up a little further on the chat. Yeah, no way in hell. I guarantee you. Oh, world famous. Okay, sorry. Oh, listen. She thinks, whoops. She can't do that because what appears to someone who hasn't watched her very long or hasn't had the misfortune to interact with someone who's similar to her in real life, well, what on its surface looks like she thinks she's too good to go on anybody else's panel, it's really she's wildly insecure. How about her the other day when, my God, this was one of the more fucking maniacal things I've ever heard this bitch say. As she's in the camera with her eyes are like, her pupils are non-existent. And she's telling, this is what I'm paraphrasing slightly. Summer Wells is dead. I don't care what law enforcement says. And Don Wells, you want to know why you lost your job, Don Wells? You don't get to take me, Bullhorn Betty, and my team. You don't get to take me on a wild goose chase for 4 hours, telling me you'll meet me here, you'll meet me there, you'll meet me everywhere, and not show up. And you don't think you're going to pay a heavy price for that. That's why you lost your job. And that's why people hate your miserable ass. You are fucking delusional. You seem to live in some, oh, wait, let me not forget this part. We sat with law enforcement over 4 hours, over 2 days. You think they just do that with anybody? They don't just give information to anybody like they did us. Fuck you. You're a lying sack of shit. They didn't tell you jack shit. You are nobody. As to why would Hawkins County spend 4 minutes with you? Never mind 4 hours. I don't know. What can I tell you? Must have been a slow 2 days. Because Betty, much like you, I've been to Hawkins County too, except I'm not, I'm not living in some fucking la la land where I have myself convinced that I'm a child's advocate. I'm a legal professional. I'm a reporter. I'm an investigator. What other jobs does Betty have? Oh, body language expert, electrician, plumber, chef. Yeah, all those things. Bitch, if there was a picture in the dictionary of jack of all, master of none, it would be you. Yeah, so see, since I'm not that, no, I'm just an average, happily married, very lucky lady who just wanted to see for myself. Yeah, it would never occur to me to like go ask law enforcement and for her to say things like what I just said, which I promise you came out of her mouth. And if you believe that bullshit, I got a bridge that sits right above some lovely waterfront swampland that I want to sell you. I mean, I can't explain why anybody would think that law enforcement would be giving her, of all people. Can you that crew rolling up in there? Okay, Betty. And listen, where's the proof of that? Yes, we saw them in the lobby at Hawkins County. We saw a few minutes of footage. But where's all that other footage? Oh, let me guess. I'm sure quite conveniently when law enforcement gave them this top secret information on an open case, of course, let's not forget that, involving a child. I'm sure law enforcement said, but you can't share it with anybody on your YouTube channel. Well, isn't that convenient? So all we have, much like her alleged education, all we have is her word. Well, I'm sorry. Anybody who communicates written and verbal the way she does, that's what I base my opinion on when I say she doesn't sound educated. And I'm sorry. The scenario that she proposes, that happened, that law enforcement decided to talk to her and the gang, Scooby and the gang. Listen, I think that as IQ challenged as she seems to be, not in the realm of, getting from one day to the next and being able to hold down a job, which she could do. She just chooses not to. No, because people like me and you and anybody else who pays taxes, well, shit, why would you when people like us will pay for people like her not to work? So while I believe there's plenty of things she is qualified to do I think that I think all of this right here and, I don't know, several hundred more, that was so very clearly hobbled together using the words and the work product of various people, not Betty. I mean, we can very much tell which parts Betty wrote. Yeah, none of this says to me, college educated person. And if it is, well, where is that person? Because Betty, I mean, despite the fact that I don't use what I went to college for, I still have an education. And I don't run around trying to not use my education when I communicate with people. Like, it just doesn't make much sense. So that's what I base my opinion on. And it just seems like she's cunning enough when she puts these whoppers out there. She's cunning enough to know that certain things are not going to be provable because it's information that would be protected anyway because of, you know, privacy concerns. Obviously, you can't just roll up to a school and say, I want to see, Joe Blow's transcript, or, I want to see their report card. So she can tell us, she can tell us that she went to the Columbia School of Journalism. But when she can't construct a sentence, I don't care what you say. It's meaningless. They're words. And in that vein, she knows damn good and well that there is not one person. Hey, Sofa King, how are you? There's not one of us that could pick the phone up and call Hawkins County and try, because, it actually, I thought for a minute, well, maybe somebody should just call her bluff. Maybe somebody should, look, this is my press credentials, right? This makes me a member of the media. Maybe not the mainstream media, but I'm a member of the well-dressed literate media. And as such, aren't these credentials as valid as hers? Can I not? Why does this not entitle me to, hey, oh, hi, how are you? Hi, this is Lisa from Crimes and Fashion. Yes, I am a member of the well-dressed literate media. I'm calling to confirm a story from one of our fellow members of the press corps. Yes, regarding, regarding a story about, possibly some information that was shared with some YouTubers. But, Susie, could you do me a favor? Could you go and find out the date on that? When the Hogs, when they were in Hawkins County, when they had their sit down with law enforcement there. Yeah, I'm trying to get confirmation on that story. Could you just be a doll? And yes, there's a nice bottle of red with your name all over it when we go to the Capitol Grill for dinner tonight, girl. Yeah, if you could hurry, because they're in a hurry here. Oh, yes, my girl is coming with the dates right now. Just give me just a minute. Yeah, I'm basically all I'm trying to do. Well, maybe we could do a little bit of preemptive work here until I get those dates. Yeah, I'm just wondering. Like I said, this is Lisa from Crimes and Fashion. Yes, I am. I'm a member of the YouTube media. Yes, I have a YouTube channel. Well, yes, that does qualify me as a reporter. Oh, sure, I'll get my credentials right on over to you. Yeah. I'm no Ainsley Daniels, but she's overrated. Yeah. So, but basically all I need to know is this. Can you confirm whether or not you did actually meet with a charitable organization? Yeah. Heels on the Ground was their name. Yeah, well, they would have been a very interesting little collection of, I think they did probably get out of a little tiny clown car. Yes. Oh, you gave them a ticket because they parked in a handicapped parking spot? Oh God, yeah, that's bad form. Well, don't you have a designated media parking space? Oh, are you sure? Are you quite sure? Oh, hold on a minute. I have those dates for you. What are the dates? It was the 12th of Never, about 2 years ago. Yes, it was in regards to the Summer Wells case. Yeah, I'm just trying to confirm whether or not that you know. Oh, oh, okay. Okay. And is that your final answer? Are you sure you don't want to phone a friend? Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. You have a great. Oh, do you want the name of my YouTube channel? You don't? Okay. All right. Well, you have a great day and thank you so much. Bye bye now. Oh, uh, just just so you can put you know, a well, I was going to say just so you could put a face to the name. I think this might help really drive the point home. This will really make you remember. Well, I mean, if I said melted hair and bad English skills, stank face, just all around general malcontent. Um, does the phrase used cake mean anything to you? Yes, 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 yes. This is the dumb bitch that had the well, it was supposed to be a widely attended, you know, well, I think she tried to say it was going to be a visual. Then it was a visual. Yes, finally she did figure out the word is vigil. Um, but yeah, it really was. I mean, let's face it, it was a meet and greet for her. And that's why it was so poorly attended. Yes, remember she held it in the parking lot of your, but she backs the blue, okay? She's very pro law enforcement. Oh, so you do remember that crazy bitch that came in and wanted to give you the leftover cake. That you probably yes, I see, I knew it. I told everybody there is no way in God's green earth that y'all would have touched not one crumb off of that cake. I mean, listen, my dog, he is not that smart and he loves cake. But even my dog knows if it comes from Bullhorn Betty, do not eat it. Like, don't eat it. Okay, so that did help jog your memory. Okay, so your answer is still the same. None of that happened. Okay, good to know. Okay. Well, you know what? You have a great day. And I'm actually quite the cook. So, and I love to bake. If I'm ever in the neighborhood, well, I promise if I bring cake, it will not be recycled. It will not have been served anywhere else first. And then I just, because I'm too cheap and can't stand to see a piece of cake go in the trash, that oh well, we can give it to law enforcement. Well, since you all were so gracious to let her come and, act the damn fool in your, well, no, I take that back. I think she did. That was the one day out of the other 364 in the year that she did actually, like, behave as a civilized human being. Well, I know it was yes, I mean, it was stupid beyond measure to think that anyone would want her leftover cake. But yes, what's your favorite flavor? I make a mean red velvet. You good with cheesecake frosting? Okay. All right. Well, next time I'm in the neighborhood, I'll drop on by. All right. Thank you so much for your time. You have a great day. Bye-bye. Okay. Can we get real now? That's the chance that I was talking to Hawkins County on a mallet. Yeah, that's about the same. Now, am I saying that here's what I think how it probably went. And like I said, this is where the cunning comes in. Notice I didn't say cunning. Hi, Dis, how are you? Dis, I think you need to give me the name again of that shampoo, and I need to send it to Betty because Dis. I don't know if y'all know this about my a member of the mod squad here, Dis I Am the Illusion. He has got quite a fabulous head of hair. I'm even kind of jealous of it. I actually emailed him the other day because, I haven't seen him in a while. And he does have a channel. Dis, drop your channel link. Yes, Tresemme, ooh la la. I saw him in the morning on a thumbnail and I was like, my God, Dis. I said, I need to reach out. And I did. I emailed him. I said, sir, your hair is on point. And I know you're in the land of plenty. Hey, Mint Mama. The land where dreams are made. I said, I think you should try and get a damn gig as a spokesperson for some damn hair care products. So he says it's Tresemme. Ooh la la. I said, well, send Betty a case. Okay, so yeah, I picture a scenario because there's no way we cannot prove that it didn't happen. And you know why? Because like the best of bullshit stories, kind of like anybody speaking about maybe a health condition. Well, you could come up here and you could tell people that you have any old thing in the world that you wanted to. And if someone is inclined to scam or be scammy about it, people know you cannot get access to anyone's medical information, nor should you be able to be. But you know what I'm saying? And this is much in the same vein. There is no way in hell. All you would get in the way of comment would be, I'm sorry, we cannot comment on anything involving any open investigation, period, end of story. And they know that. So if your bulb is dim enough that you believe that Betty and the gang were getting any kind of 2-day, 4-hour intel session with law enforcement regarding Summer Wells' case, I don't know what to tell you, except there is no way in hell that happened. I think they were gracious enough to sit down with them and for whatever reason consent to being filmed while sitting in the lobby answering probably if I remember, it was just very generic, basic things that would be found on the missing flyer or would be used in furtherance of finding that little girl. Nothing like she's trying to purport. No way. No way. And you can't, how do you prove a negative? You can't. And she knows that. So y'all believe whatever you want. I know better. And you should too. So when I say living in the land of delusion, that's what I mean. Oh, goodness. So, hey, Blank Slate, how are you? But I mean, honest to God, that was vile. That was, it was nuts listening to her. I mean, I cannot figure out for the life of me. I'd have a little more sympathy for her if I thought she actually believed this shit in her own mind. I don't think she does. And if she does, well, that's probably good news because they make a pill for that. I think. They also make a pill for being an asshole. Well, at least, partially. Runaway truth, absolutely, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, come on. It defies logic. It absolutely defies logic. Not one of them. Let's see. Let's look at that resume. We had Betty, Molly, JLR, and Olivia. And if I'm correct, the only one of them who doesn't have arrest history and or jail time would be Olivia. You really think none of them are real journalists? And I don't give a shit if they have their little homemade press passes on. Even if they were, how about this? Even if it was Ainsley Daniel, do you think that their share, who is very much a reporter covering that metro area, do you think they would be giving her any intel on the case? No, they wouldn't. Now, they may tell her things that they're not telling the general public. However, they would not be things that would compromise either the investigation or a possible future conviction. Just another mother. Oh, goodness. You know my love language. Shameless flattery. Yes, that's why I used to keep Betty's number one simp, Mike Stevens. That's why Mike Stevens used to sit front row at Crimes and Fashion. I'm sure it was just doing intel for Betty and whatnot, but we're on a break right now, probably forever. I don't know, Mike. Don't give up hope. You miss me, but you can watch me this way, Mike. Our relationship is better. We're better long distance, you and me. All right. Hey, Georgia. How are you? Girl, I am not going there. You know what? I would need to ask more questions, and oh my God, it's 3 hours and 12 minutes. Y'all, 3.5 hours, it's too much even for me. But my husband walked in the door about 15 minutes ago. He's being so sweet out there trying to put his bags down. Like, quiet on the set. So I think I definitely covered everything on my little list. And Monday. Crazy Nurse. I've already done the thumbnail for Monday, you all. We are doing our YouTube, what are we calling it? YouTube Hood News. Last week, our tagline was, we're not fair and we're not balanced. This week, I've changed the tagline to YouTube Hood News. A spoonful of something helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. And whoever gave us the brilliant future tagline, that it is written down, and I was going to use it this week. Please tell me who you are. Remind me so I can give you credit. Next week, we might have to have a special episode on third. Oh, shit. Okay, wait a minute before I blow out of here. Morbid is interviewing her on Wednesday. Is that correct? Now, my goodness, isn't that interesting? Because we all know what the next day is. Thanksgiving. So I just wonder if that was, I'm just thinking out loud. I mean, I could make a case for either way, whether, whether that's a good thing that the next day is, typically people are busy that day. And even if you don't have family, that you spend that day with, most people have, friends, or most people have something that they do that day. So I don't know. Chris Crass, I'll refrain from saying why. That probably is. But yeah, that is interesting timing. But yes, nonetheless, because I was going to say, do we need to have a special breaking news, YouTube Hood News part 2 of the week? If so, we're going to use the tagline, all the news nobody needs. And yes, that was somebody brilliant who may be in this chat. Hey, Southern Mimi, how you doing? So yes, I think Crazy Nurse, let me just look real quick at my calendar. I know obviously Thursday is out for, I would imagine, almost all of us. And I do not indulge in any Black Friday situations. I'll do that online. So let's just say, I think that we will, Crazy Nurse and I will talk, because I see a scenario where we're going to need to have a special correspondence report on the breaking news from Wednesday. So we will get together on that and see what we can work out there, because everybody is going to be talking about it. So, well, thank you guys so much. Oh, Sofa King. Yes. Well, that's interesting. All he said was he was going to be interviewing her. I had to laugh. He said something about, unrelated to Betty, something about using multiple, streaming. People like me use StreamYard. Morbid uses StreamYard, OBS, and I believe something else. He said he has 3 monitors. I'm like, holy shit, I can barely read one. And I had to laugh because he said that when he was talking to Betty, and she was so gracious. And I'm like, you sure you were talking to Betty? He said that when he mentioned something about using OBS, she said, oh, yeah, that's hard. And I'm like, yeah, Betty and OBS. Betty, you can't spell OBS. Oh, goodness. All right. Oh, Sofa King. I hadn't even thought of that. Well, that's something to ponder. Interesting. That's funny because that never even crossed my mind. It probably should have, but it didn't. All right, kids. Tomorrow. Okay, definitely not tomorrow. I'm having the fam day. I'm over for dinner. And so Monday at 12 o'clock, be here or be square, where we will be going over all the news that is sorted, not fit to print. Hell, it's not even fit to talk about. we're going to talk about it anyway. So, all righty, pussycats. I hope you guys will have today's Saturday, right? Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope y'all get off of YouTube for a little while. Oh, Sofa King, I am. The Teemu thing. Oh. Listen, it took me 6 to 8 weeks to get it done, but I did it, and don't you worry. You're going to get my thoughts. They're not going to be live because I'm like a child and there's no way that I can hold myself back. But don't you worry. Some of it will probably be so bad that when I open it the second time, I will have this same spontaneous reaction of what in the hell is this piece of shit? Did I buy this? All right, kids, y'all have a good weekend, and we will see you on Monday. I hope. All right, y'all, be good. Bye.
Thought that you should know I've been going solo. Want my love, baby, earn it. Yeah, dancing on my own. See if you can follow. Got me feeling alive. Watch me go. Lost in trust, it's real. All I feel. Freak the signs. Everything tells me real. I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. I want. Hear me now, I do what I want. Are you ready now? 'Cause it won't be